Hey, welcome back to the End Game. The End Game is the only show that's a part of Romney's 53%. We are in the second quarter now, and in the second quarter, we talk about national news. And in national news, the biggest thing in the headlines is Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney told everybody, to a small group of people rather, he cares about the most important people.
People who will vote for the president no matter what. There are 47% who are with him, who are dependent upon government, who believe that they're victims, who believe that government has a responsibility to care for them, who believe that they're entitled to health care, to food, to housing, to you name it. But it's an entitlement, and the government should give it to them. And they will vote for this president no matter what.
Yep, 47% of you mofos are on welfare and food stamps and everything dependent upon the man, and you think that you're just supposed to be given stuff. Somebody that's definitely on that 47%, Mr. Chip Jones. Was he talking to you? Do you feel entitled? Do you feel like, does he speak for you? Does Romney represent you and who you are?
He doesn't represent me, but I mean, he mixed up a whole bunch of stuff, but like I said earlier, this is about motivating your base, and that's the way election politics run now. If you look at it, what he's saying is actually true for election politics. Is 47% of the population he's not going to get, doesn't matter what he does. That 6% swing vote, doesn't really matter. He needs to motivate his 47% that want him and get them out at the polls.
No.
So, I mean, he's mixing a lot of stuff together that's incorrect, but the percentage is correct.
The percentage is correct, but a lot of those people that are on government assistance are, say, like military. They work for their own assistance and Social Security.
You're making the same mistake that he's making. I mean,
I am?
Yeah, because that
I've only been wrong once. That was back in '82 when I thought I was mistaken.
The election politics is not about who those people are, whether or not they're on assistance or whatever. It's about, are they his people? And that's what he mixed up. Who are his people,
Now, who are his people? Tiffany Simmons, are you one of his people?
No, I'm black, so I wouldn't be one of his people.
Yeah, but you are wealthy. You got more money than God.
I mean, yeah, that's me. I represent children, so I make $2.50.
Oh, wow.
Per day. Yeah.
That's not true. I don't believe that at all.
That feeds 60.
Well, I mean, but I'm saying you're one of the learned people in society, so I would think that he's speaking to you and anybody who has just a little bit of change. So
you just said what I just said. I make $2.50, so a little bit of change.
I calculate.
Stand corrected. Miss Ellen G.
Yes, sir.
Would you, you hear that, Tasha? She said, sir.
She doesn't know you.
That is true. What do you think about his 47% claim and how, basically just the video, what do you think?
So the percentage number I don't really know a lot about, but I personally feel like what he said was that it was a fact. There are some people in our society who feel like they're entitled to things that they don't work for, and they believe that the government is supposed to give it to them. Now, whether or not
you just stepped on somebody's toes.
I mean, and so he stepped on a lot of people's toes. I know people personally I had a conversation earlier about Section 8, about how people feel like, I don't want to have to pay rent. I want a Section 8 voucher. I want food stamps. I want a subsidy check for my BGE bill. So those people do exist.
Well, you got to understand, Larry Lancaster's going through the three things right now. So, Larry,
Why did y'all sit me beside a Republican?
Thank you.
Second thing is, that was another classic example of a dog whistle.
Okay.
Mitt Romney was talking to his base, and it's fascinating to me that there are a lot of corporate people who get corporate welfare. They have subsidies for oil companies who make record profits.
Right.
A lot of these companies get corporate welfare. They get billions and billions of dollars, and Mitt Romney is not complaining about that. And as soon as he gets in, he said he wanted to lower the tax rate for the top 1% to 3%. So if they can be okay, people who don't need the money, then why can't people who need some help get help? So he's letting you know who he's going to look out for and who he's not. And the last thing, you're the president, you're everyone's president, not just a percentage of the people.
Church.
That is right. That is right.
Preach.
Tasha, are you a part of Romney's 47% or the 53? I think you're part of the 53.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, I thought I was a part of 53, but if you buy food stamps for somebody that's a part of the 47, where do you lie?
All right. Yeah.
I know.
Every week I say I'm not going to talk to this man. I do it every time.
That's real information.
Okay, next up we have, recently New York City has banned the Big Gulp. Is this infringement on people's rights? I mean, if I want 75 gallons, ounces of some really cool drink, why can I not have it? Ms. Simmons, you're the lawyer here. Is this legal? Can they do that? Can they just limit me to only 12 ounces?
The Constitution says that we have a right, the government has a right to look out for the general welfare of the public. Our nation is fat. We have a lot of medical problems that come from obesity. So in their minds, that is a justification for the passage of that type of law.
Okay, now you're the professional person. Now I'm going to go to the real person that would know this. Chip, you are a man of larger girth. What do you think about this? How do you feel about the government telling you how many portions you can have?
I am terrified. I was telling Larry earlier, I'm terrified of going to New York and being pulled over, handcuffed, just because I got a 2-liter soda in the back of my trunk. I'm scared.
Hey, you got to move that weight out of state, Daddy.
You know,
You got a couple two liters in the trunk?
that's it.
Ooh, that's
Pulled
terrible.
over.
So,
But I understand. I mean, the government is working on social issues and they're trying to move the needle. I don't know. I mean, we're always fighting back and forth. Where's individual rights and government rights? So,
Larry, you tell me, do you think this is a little bit of government going out of control?
I think it's a classic example of hypocrisy. And you have all these right-wing people saying, we don't want government in our business, but yet they're okay with people in New York, the legislature in New York passing this bill. What about gun control? How is it that a man can walk into a movie theater and shoot up all these people and have all this ammunition and nothing being done about that?
I don't think it's okay to do that, Larry.
No.
I think that's against the law, too.
No, the point is that they don't fight gun control because the lobbyists are too strong.
Well, I mean, you do have a constitutional right, though.
Industry. I'm not saying you shouldn't have guns. I'm saying you shouldn't have a damn 80 bullet clip. That's my point. You shouldn't be able to shoot that many people in that short amount of time. And the only reason more people weren't injured is because the gun jam. What about the tobacco industry? How is it you can buy a pack of cigarettes?
but shouldn't you focus on what's the greater good?
I think you should focus on what's most detrimental.
Exactly.
Well,
so,
I mean,
yourself.
diabetes.
so more people die of diabetes.
I don't want to get
and
my
heart
foot
disease.
cut off, Larry.
I want to see that guy with the 80 banana clip, and I don't care about somebody wanting to get fat off a damn Slurpee.
Gun
But how many?
violence is going down. Gun violence is going down.
I ain't never died because you ate a drunk Slurpee.
Gun violence is going down,
will
but
get
heart
shot
disease
with
and
an 80
diabetes.
clip.
Okay, look. I am with Chip because he could probably fight me. Next, we also have coming up is voting. There's a lot of voter fraud going on. Actually, there isn't. There's like almost zero. But some people out there think it's a real travesty going on. Let me ask Mr. Larry, what do you think is going on with this whole movement for the voting ID? ID?
Let's call it
who's
what
this
it
going to
is.
hurt?
It's voter suppression. They looked at the demographic, saw who voted for Obama, and they passed laws to suppress those particular people. They never worried about voter fraud when George Bush stole an election. Nobody needed an ID then. Why you need one now? Now, do I think you should have an ID to vote? Possibly, but why now when we had the first black president in
I
history?
will tell you why,
Now
Larry.
we need
It's
IDs.
very painfully obvious. If we don't do this now, it could plunge us into 1,000 years of darkness. Do you want that to happen?
They're trying to change the game to benefit them. It's
But
as simple as that.
it's the same game. I mean, like I said from the beginning, this is the same through line about motivating your base. And if you can't motivate your base, then the flip side is to suppress the other guys. And that's what this is about.
LNG.
Yes, sir.
I love it when she says that. Tasha, you need to take that.
I just threw it in my mouth, and so did Larry.
Terrible. Ellen, what do you think about this whole voter fraud thing, the whole initiative?
I think the idea that you can manipulate the perception of media, the way that people, the media does that with people, and try to make people think that people are just out here just like randomly lying about voting is ridiculous. So then if you can convince people that people are out here just randomly lying about voting, then you can push the issue about voter. Oh, this is important. It's always been important. And so, like, I feel like they're creating panic, and it's unnecessary, and Obama will probably win anyway. So.
What?
Sue Woo? What?
Okay.
I just went crazy for no reason.
Yeah.
It is a panic. We need to let people know. Get all the old people in a van and take them to get IDs because they don't have them. Because they don't need IDs to get their medication. They just give a bill. So,
Tasha, who will not vote?
old people and poor people and people that live in rural communities that out in the sticks. We call it the sticks. It's in the country. Y'all don't know about that. But yeah, so you need to, if you have a car and you know somebody that you don't think has an ID.
Even if you don't have a car.
You don't have a car. Well, if you can get a Metro Pass and a bike, you need to get an old person on your back, get Mary Bethune-Cookman on your back and take her to go get an ID because...
So, Carlos, the interesting thing...
worst person I've ever met. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Carlos, the interesting thing...
Hold on real quick, because I have to go to, we got to go to break, and I have to get Miss Simmons. What do you think about this
I think it's the resurrection of Jim Crow, in my opinion.
1,000 years of darkness?
More like 2,000.
Mr. Jones.
And so the interesting thing is the one ID that they will accept that's not like a driver's license or non-driver's license is a gun license.
Right. Without a picture on it.
No picture on it. It's the only ID that they will accept that doesn't have a picture on it.
C-O-Conspiracy.
Right.
All right, that wraps up the second quarter. We are going to go take a break. We will be right back. You are watching the End Game with me, J.C. Rodimus. Keep it right here.